Video we're going to look at rounding off to decimal places. So we're going to have a look at this. We want to round off 0.635728 to one decimal place. So quite straightforward, but one thing to remember is I only want to have one number after the decimal point. So 0.6 looks good. Now how do I know that I'm going to keep it at 6 and not round it up to 7? I look at the second number, the 3. If it's 5 or above, I round up, and if it's 4 or below, I keep it the same. You round it up, 4 or below, keep it the same. So I'm just going to keep that first decimal place as 0.6. Let's do it again. So we have 0.6 to two decimal places, so it's 6.3. So I think about putting a 3 there, but the next one is a 5. 5 or above, I'm going to round that up to 4. So most of you would have done this way back in school. 3 decimal places, 0.635, and the 7 tells me to round up, so it becomes 0.636. And to 4 decimal places, 0.635, and we're going to keep it as 7 because the 5th decimal place is a 2. Very straightforward. Now I've got a few little anomalies that catch students out. So I want to round this to one decimal place. So I go to the second decimal place, and the 8 tells me to round it up to a 0. But it's not really a 0, it's actually saying round it up to 10. And that has a knock-on effect of rounding this up to 4. So it becomes 4.0 because the 9 became 10 and it knocks this one up. And similarly here, this 9 turns this into a 10. And that means add 1 to this, which means add 1 to this. So this one becomes 65. Now I could leave it as 65. Sometimes it's just important to put the extra 2 numbers on there, so I'm showing that my 2 decimal places after are both 0. So I've got 5 questions here for you to try. You can pause it and then I'll do the answers. So 2 decimal places here is 3.97. The 5 tells me to round up. 3 decimal places is 0.342. The 1 doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't tell me to do anything. 3 decimal places, first decimal place, second decimal place. Now a 2, that's fine because there's a 1 next to it, so I don't round up. 3 decimal places again, so 32 doesn't even count. 1, 2, and I'm going to make this a 7 because that 6 tells me to make this 6 a 7. And finally, 1 decimal place. So I want to round this up. 5 tells me to round it up to a 0, so it becomes 2 because it has that knock-on effect.